Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the first card is the Star card. That is pretty amazing. This is all about your fate, all about your destiny. I feel like you're somebody who has really been doing the work. You know, this card is asking the question, well, it's more than asking the question. This is trying to reveal the answer to you of who am I, why am I here, what am I made of, and where am I going? I feel that this has been your work. This has been your search for, not only for identity, but for a feeling of fate, a feeling of destiny. Where do I belong? Right? What am I supposed to be doing with life? Am I doing the right thing? And this is it's an ongoing revelation. You know, if this is not, we get one answer and then that's it. We stop asking the question. This is continual. This is an ongoing thing. Right? It's a lifelong journey, really. But I think that you're somebody who's really been doing the work, digging deep, working through your karma, right? Being very aware of yourself. The Star card has two functions, right? The first one is to fill you with a kind of light and awareness, a clarity, show you through your interactions with others, with the world, you know, to show you where your buttons are, to show you where your knots of karma are, to show you where your sore spots are, where your weaknesses might be, okay? So that we can work on them, right, as I feel you've been doing. And the second phase is then some of that light that we're filled with, right, starts to flow out into the world, and it reveals our path to us. Not that there is one particular road that leads to one particular goal, because again, it's not about what you're doing necessarily, but how and why. It's an ongoing thing. This card helps you to see your path, okay? And this to me is, it's that ongoing work that creates in us the magician, all right? So let's put this card into some context. There's, you know, a lot that this could be talking about, but I thought that was going to be the magician, but no, that is the high priestess, which is very good because the high priestess is the part of you that has to be receptive. See, arms wide open, right? To receive that divine light, to receive the difficult revelation from the divine, from Spirit. So you're in this attitude of reception to receive what Spirit is trying to tell you, okay? And maybe you've been doing a lot more divination. Maybe you've been doing more tarot lately, kind of like on your own, right? Or maybe you've been doing other methods of divination. Maybe you've been reading tea leaves like my wife over at Ula, Tea Leaf Readings here on YouTube. But I feel like you have a strong connection with the divine energy on your own, with the spiritual realm. Yeah. Let's keep going. We've got an Emperor here. We've got the Princess of Swords. Oh, and the Princess of Pentacles too. Interesting. We've got a three of Swords in the future position. Okay. Well, that, to me, that's a good card in this case. We have a 4. Yeah. See, now we have a 4. And we've got a 2. And we've got the Empress. And we've got the Ace of Wands. Oh, yeah. This is really about you as this Emperor energy trying to reclaim your magical wand, right? And making decisions for your life. and for moving forward into the next thing that's for you. See, there's a lot of change here. I think you're in a phase of life right now where you are trying to work out this karma here. This is one of those knots that the star shows you. Okay, this is one of those maybe seeds of karma, those roots of karma, one of your sore spots, one of your buttons, right? We all have them. That Three of Swords is one of those. And this is about you recognizing that and finding closure, right? Making changes in your life to get your Empress energy, to get your very best life, to manifest, to have your thoughts, to have reality truly reflect your thoughts in the most positive way. This is really, really good. We're going to select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. Now, don't forget, Leo, you are magic, right? We're not going to look at that card until the end. It will tie everything together and give us our confirmation, give us our closure at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together. Let's exercise our intuition. Yeah. Okay, let's look around the room here. Interesting stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. The Emperor, right? Trying to get, get the mojo back, get your magic wand back, right? And trying to manifest the Empress energy. In some ways, trying to accept the Empress energy. Okay? But the Emperor needs to accept the revelation coming from Spirit. Accept the message, okay? Because this is a message that's coming in that is, it's going to push your button. It's going to frustrate you, annoy you, maybe something you're already involved with, right? A situation in your life that is really testing you. Maybe coming through, other people, other just relationships that you have, right? This is the way you interact with the world, okay? So we've got our major arcana. And accepting the Empress energy, I think, is really a key component here because it's sort of like it's in the position of the card we don't want, but we need. And maybe this is sort of recognizing, admitting, it's not something the Emperor likes to do, but admitting that we need the healing. Admitting that we need the love and the embrace and the intimacy from people around us. That we, it's sort of the being strong enough, the Emperor being strong enough to admit that we have needs, that we are perfect just the way we are, but at the same time, we need to heal, we need to move on, we need to recognize this karmic knot that we have, and we need to address it so that we can make positive changes, so that we can be more adaptive, So I like the major arcana that we have. I feel this is very, very good energy, and also I feel the Empress is representing that abundance and that success. And in some ways, because this card is sort of what you don't want or what you're trying to avoid or what the obstacle is, I feel like it's your way of accepting that you deserve that. And yes, you can have this, and yes, you can have love, right? Maybe this is a union, right? Emperor and Empress together, Maybe this is you accepting the love, accepting the abundance, accepting the success or the prosperity in life. That you're toiling away in the garden, you deserve to eat some of the fruit too. You deserve to harvest the vegetables and cook a nice ratatouille or something, right? We have fire. We don't have any water cards, which is a little bit strange, right? I think the Empress is kind of representing all of that water energy. Creativity, love, abundance, success, money, as well as comfort, as well as healing, all that watery stuff that we might... I know money is not really the watery energy, but I feel like this is about you accepting all the good things in life, And so this is what we're really trying to manifest. This is what you're seeking. That's what the Emperor, in all of its ambition, is seeking, right? Seeking the Empress. Makes sense. So we have fire. We don't have any water. We've got the air, this is front and center, and this is the 2 air cards. The air is front and center. It's right in the middle of the table, you see, because this is what everything else is revolving around right now, is this 3 of Swords. And it's a challenge. Yeah, sure, 3 of Swords is never a good thing. I mean, it's not something that we always say, oh, I can't wait to get a 3 of Swords. But when it shows up, we know, okay, I got work to do, and I'm ready. Okay. And so that we have our air. We have our earth cards, too. I don't want to forget about this fire, too. It's very interesting to have the fire in this pyramid shape, right? I think this is, an equilateral triangle, right? These 3 fiery cards. Because the Emperor, should the Emperor bring closure to this issue, the Emperor will sort of, receive the magic wand again and have the ability to manifest the success, the love, the abundance, all that intimacy and everything that the Empress will represent. So it's kind of like we need the 4 plus the ace to make the 5. We need change, we need movement, we need to address something, we need to face something, we need to confront something. And I think the air and the earth cards are very interesting too, because it's recognizing that our thoughts create our reality. That if we want our reality to be a certain way. Now, let's talk about that, because this is the Princess of Pentacles. This sometimes represents the dead of winter. Nothing out there. Snow, trees are bare, animals are gone, birds are gone. There's no life, there's no green. Right? There's no money green out here. It's barren, it's sterile, right? And if this is what you're looking at and you're thinking, I want to bring the life back. How do I bring, in sort of a macrocosmic way, it's like, how do we bring spring back? When it's the dead of winter, how do we bring the life back to this? And in our own microcosm, it's kind of saying, if your life isn't as abundant right now as you want it to be, there's something that's blocking that sort of progress, that sort of adaptation to the world to bring in all of that wonderful Empress energy, right? The Empress, and this is perfect too, because a lot of synchronicity here for me in this reading with the energies here. Because when we get the Princess of Pentacles, we think, this is the dead of winter, it's sterile, it's barren, there's no green, there's no life, there's no verdant energy here. We're trying to turn the Princess of Pentacles into the Empress. Now life has returned. Now everything is growing, everything is abundant, and the trees are yielding their fruit, and the animals have returned, and the good times are here, right? Spring has come. Yeah. So this is what we're trying to do. And you're realizing that it is it is all about how you perceive and interact with the world. It's all about your thinking here. Now, you're a very resilient person. Okay, I think that you recover very quickly from difficulties. Like if you lose your job, you're right out there looking for another one. You don't let it phase you. The water energy's not here. You don't even have time to lament. You're just like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm hunting for a job now. Okay. I also feel that you're very open-minded. You're very willing to consider different ideas. You're going to listen to others even when you don't necessarily agree with their opinions. And I think that this is smart. This is the one who likes to learn, likes to do, likes to be out there and interacting with the world. I think you enjoy making new friends. I think that you enjoy, interacting with people. I think you're someone that can just go and go up to strangers and just like start a conversation. Not something I really do. I'm a solar Cancer. As the solar, if it's your solar sign, or even if it's your moon or your rising, especially if it's your rising sign, I feel that you love to go out and just get into conversations with people. I think you always know what to say, right? And so we're recognizing that our thoughts, the way we approach something, the way we think about things is what's manifesting our reality. If we have negative thoughts about the world, we're going to have negative. If we have this thought process that says, life is not going to be successful, I'm never going to achieve this, it's never going to grow, spring will never be here, it's just going to be winter, perpetual winter, right? The long winter. then that's what we're going to have. And so that's why this card's in the difficult position, right? Because we do have to sort of train ourselves to think in a way that is creating the reality that we want, okay? The Emperor back here. I feel like maybe there was, I don't know, I kind of feel that there's been a blow to your confidence or something, or that there is the little bit of a reluctance in you to address whatever this Three of Swords is, okay? And I just feel that the Emperor in this past position is sort of representing your confidence, your authority, your agency, that ambition, that creative ability, the attitude, really, that you don't really need anybody else, the attitude that I can do this on my own, or that nothing really needs to change. Sometimes the Emperor can be stubborn. He doesn't like to hear, there's motifs very common in film and in literature and stuff about like the ruler or the emperor or the sovereign that doesn't want to hear any sort of criticism, any sort of negative reports. Just tell me how good everything is. Don't give me any bad news. Bad news, off with your head, So and my point here being is I think that you've maybe received some bad news, okay? I think that Spirit is trying to encourage you to confront it, to face it, okay? And I think that's what the Three of Swords is probably that bad news. This is probably something that we need to address. See, the Three of Swords is weird because it's a card that usually talks about something that happened in the past, but this is in front of you, okay? So it might be really confronting something that has already happened and something that is maybe typically in an unconscious way affecting how you adapt to the world and how you function in the world and how you think and how you interact with yourself and with others, okay? And this is something that I think isn't so much under the surface anymore. See, usually this would be something, it's sort of unconscious. We don't really realize that we're being affected by this event from the past, right? But now something in your future, something in front of you, really, is sort of shining a light on that, okay? So something that's going on currently for you is bringing up something that happened to you a long time ago. And I think it's something that we really need to address right now so that you can move forward into this abundance, into this success, into this really wonderful Empress energy, okay? Which is, it's fabulous. It's paradise. It's everything is healing, everything is growing, everything is succeeding. There's progress, right? There's a lot of growth here. So I feel like this is talking about a karmic cycle that you are probably right in the middle of. Okay. The High Priestess energy is, of course, the waxing moon. It is the widening of the psychic aperture. It is the growing of that sort of the lunar light, the psychic light, right? And so I feel that this is really almost literally Spirit shining a light inside of you and showing you something that you need to look at, something that you need to face, right? Then this is what you face this. This is, the Emperor right now is not, you see, the Emperor has his back turned to this. But this is what Spirit is trying to show you that you need to face. Okay. And by facing this, I think you begin to understand more about the thought to behavior, thinking and reality, and how they are so intimately connected. Okay. And I don't see that there's any, it's kind of a situation where I would think that, well, maybe there's some confusion about the path. Maybe there's just this idea that you don't really know which direction to take right now, or that you're having doubts and all this. But I don't see that. We don't have any other swords cards. There's no 5. There's no 7 or 9 of swords. There's no 10 of swords. It's not that we have doubts about which path to take. In fact, you have a confidence about you. I think you've already begun the path. You know what path you're on. I think you've initiated it. I think the Emperor in the background here is you saying, I've chosen a path. I've picked a path. There is no doubt about it. There is certainty. But what there doesn't seem to be is the progress that you wanted. So I feel like you almost feel kind of stuck right now. And I think it's because we're sort of in this karmic cycle with that 3 of swords. And, we've got to get this Ace of Wands back. I feel like this is us talking about progress. Okay, so you've started a path already. It's the path you know is meant for you. There's no doubt about it. But the progress isn't there. The movement isn't there. It's like, why do I feel blocked? Yeah. Why are things not growing? I've planted all these seeds, right? I've picked the path. I'm going to be the gardener. Why isn't anything growing? I don't understand, right? I think that Spirit is showing you whatever this situation is. Now, it might be manifesting through your interactions with a particular person in your life. You're having issues with a person or with something that's hitting on something. I don't want to say the word triggering, but it's sort of hitting on something from your past, and that is Spirit showing you with the flashlight what it is you got to work on right now, what your current sort of karmic cycle is, what your karmic knot is, what that sore spot is that we've got to look at. Okay? Let's talk about the path of the serpent, because this is what we do about it. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything, and it supports the channel, and I appreciate that. The 4 of Wands, we've got as your general energy. So recognizing that 3 of Swords automatically brings about this 4 of Wands, right? It allows us to then see what something is and to take a step beyond it. To realize what that obstacle is. And it's kind of like if you feel stuck, if you feel that there's no progress or there's something that's blocking your movement, we can't move around it. We can't get over it or under it or through it if we don't see what it is. As soon as you recognize, as soon as you identify the problem, you're able to say, oh, okay, well now I know how to go around that obstacle or get through it or whatever, right? So we can't solve the problem really until we know what the problem is. So the 4 of Wands here is that we've confronted this. I see the connection between what I'm doing now and what it's connecting with from your history, and just that simple awareness, just shining a light on that is then allowing you to sort of move forwards again. Right? We're able to take a step. We're able to see what the changes are in the environment that we need to do, the changes to our behavior. See, by directing our thoughts toward this and shining the light of Spirit, light of consciousness on this, we're able to get off of that cycle. This is a pattern, let's say a pattern of, relationships or interactions or events, circumstances, things we get involved with, right? It's a pattern of behavior. It's a pattern of thinking and behavior that isn't leading to progress. So by recognizing where that comes from, we're able to move past it. We're able to get off that wheel, right? And the 2 of Pentacles in your environment is saying that we're making changes, that you're able to recognize your behavior and make little adjustments. This doesn't have to be anything big, but to simply recognize that what's happening now is not what happened before. right? And it may be that we're on the same cycle and it feels like, well, this is just happening again. Why is it happening again? Maybe we can recognize that, okay, it's not going to happen again. This isn't the same thing. I can choose to do something different this time than I did last time. You know? So it's not so much about what happened. We don't have to go through all those grimy details and bring all that water energy into it. But we just have to see, okay, what can I do differently this time that I didn't do last time? And yeah, maybe I should have, but I'm not going to worry about that. What can I do differently now to get off this train, to get off this cycle, to get out of this pattern of behavior? What is the change you need to make in your behavior, right? How can we do something differently to get that empress energy? Because the empress is the energy we need. We need the healing. We need the acceptance. We need the love. We need to forgive. Over here, we don't want that. Over here, we're not even thinking emperor. We're thinking, why is this not succeeding? I don't understand it. What's Spirit trying to tell me? So I don't know if we're just trying to avoid this, But when we get to the path of the serpent, this becomes the card we need. We need to heal. We need to accept. We need to make peace even with what this is connected to. This is way back here in the past somewhere, but it's something that's going on right now in your life. Either it might be something at work, it might be something with a friend, a family member, it might be something in your romantic relationship that feels like it's happened before. Okay? And what we need to do with this Empress energy is just accept it, love ourselves. This is self-care. This is self-love. This is forgiving ourselves, forgiving the world, forgiving the energy from the past, sort of making peace with our previous self and what they did in that situation. Because a lot of us, myself included, I'll think of things that happened to me 20 years ago and that still bother me. And I think I should have done something different. I should have acted in a different way. Either I should have stood up for myself, or I should have fought back, or I should have walked away, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. This card is all about saying, hey, younger Paul, I forgive you. I love you. You did the best you could at the time. We've learned from that. And now we can adapt to the situation as it is now, not being controlled by what we did 20 years ago or whatever it is for you anyway. So this is self-acceptance, this is healing, this is self-love. But this is also the realization that we can turn that Princess of Pentacles into an Empress. That everything that feels like it's not growing, not progressing, not becoming abundant, you're on this path and it's like, why am I not getting the green? You can, you will, you're going to. You are getting it, right? And I think this is one of those karmic knots, those little buttons that we've got to work on that, and it feels, or maybe it appears easier said than done. It seems a lot quicker in a tarot reading than it is in real life, But we've got to recognize what this is. We've got to recognize what the obstacle is moving forward and how it connects with that thing from the past. So that we can continue, like I said, continue answering the question, who am I? Why am I here? What am I made of and where am I going? This is something Spirit's showing you. This is something what you're made of. Right? And we've got to recognize that so we can see, okay, how do I take that knowledge, that understanding, right? How do I take that and behave in a way that is adaptive, that is forward-thinking, and that is going to manifest the reality that I want? See, now your thinking is manifesting this barren reality that you sort of perceive. So let's redirect things and let's manifest this abundance of this Empress energy. Now, of course, the last card is the Ace of Wands, right? The Emperor needs the wand because that's how we sort of are directing our will, and whatever you wish to manifest, it is happening, right? So we're talking about the Star card sort of turning us into the magician, because the magician is one that has allowed the light to fill them up and is clearing out all these karmic knots and blockages and stuff. So it's able to be a clear channel of the spiritual light, right? A clear channel of the spiritual light so that we can just perform our magic and perfect our lives and manifest our reality and manufacture our reality, right? And then I think this is sort of an extension of that. This is you with that confidence moving forward. This is now your confidence. You're getting your mojo back because now you're able to see results. Progress is happening. That empress life, that paradise, that best life is starting to grow and blossom. And you can see now, you can perceive all of the beauty coming back to life. You can see all the abundance growing. The birds are coming back, right? The squirrels are waking up. And all the green leaves and flowers and things are showing up. The fruit is growing, and it's nice. Spring has come. Well, let's look at the mystery card, though. Let's see about this one. I think we need some water energy. We don't have any. And maybe the water energy is finally like, maybe we need that experience. Maybe we just need to we've gone through this work and now I'm just going to cry, sorrow, but joy too, crying because of the sort of whole issue itself. And then crying now because, I'm able to move forward. I'm getting past this obstacle and I don't feel blocked anymore. We got that Ace of Wands. It feels like your energy is flowing, your creative will, your magic is flowing. So I sort of feel this will be some water energy. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Ooh, an Eight of Wands. Okay, Eight of Wands. This is an interesting energy because it's all of this fire energy going in the same direction. Yeah. And I think that's the emphasis here, that you're going to make more progress if you have all of your energy going in the same place. But if there's that hidden energy that's kind of attached to that past thing, that thing is still influencing you. It's still zapping some of your energy, even though you may not know it. So that's what we're doing here. We're going from a 3 to a 4. We're getting closure. We're letting something go. We're saying, I'm done with that cycle and I can move on. And so it's like, it's kind of, we're taking the fire energy and we're reclaiming it. We're putting it back where it really wants to go, where it needs to go, forward into this unified effort toward the future, toward abundance, toward manifestation. Yeah. And I think this is a good reminder of that. And especially when we think of the emperor looking backwards. Right? The emperor is looking back toward what had already happened, whatever 5, 10, 20 years ago, rather than putting all the effort toward this future. Right? So there's sort of there's a drain of energy here. Something is zapping some of your creative force, some of your will, some of your vitality. Okay. So I think this is a good reminder that we need to reclaim some of this energy and direct it toward progress and sort of adaptive behavior and abundance and manifestation and all that good stuff. I want to do quickly before I let you go. I want to do one empowerment oracle card. Don't use these very often, but I feel like with the lack of water energy that we sort of need something. Yeah. So we'll do one. We'll do one of these cards. And we've got the Wind of the Willows. I am resilient. Like the willow and strong wind, I bend but do not break. When I weep, the tears renew me. I draw up vitality from my roots and reinforce myself with a loving community around me. Very nice. The Wind of the Willows. Good reminder, right? Good reminder. We're going to do an extended reading, Leo. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo are on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.